Test along.
1 2 1 2.
Shalom, Israel. Shalom. Shalom, Israel. Yeah, we in again. Shalom, Israel. One West News Desk. This is the One West News Desk. You know what I'm saying? Bringing your local, your national, and your international news to your timeline. You understand? There's a lot going on in the news. This is the ISUPK, started at 1 West on 25th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under Commander General Hunter. We've been teaching this truth since 1969 that the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are in fact the true biblical Jews of the Bible. Now our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? I'm your host, Captain Sapari, along with
Officer Matham.
We're gonna be bringing you a lot of news out here today. But of course, the war continues, and the wars continue all throughout the earth, and it seems like it's just spreading and picking up, Matham.
Right.
And all these things is related to our liberation and our freedom. And our complete, this transition of power is going to be very violent, and it's going to be from the Lord. That's what we got to recognize and understand.
Right.
Any opening remarks?
Sir, let's dig right into this.
Oh, so we want to start first.
Let's start with this. You want to do it? Let's go with that Lincoln.
Lincoln, I got
USS Lincoln.
Of course. Go ahead, you got it.
Oh, Salaki.
No, please.
Yeah, I was going to say, and this is the reason why Commander General Hunter tells us not to join the oppressor's military. Oppressor does not care about you being in the military. Oppressor only cares about what he can get you to collect for him, from other countries. That's it.
Right.
You understand? And one thing that I really want people to know is that once you leave, think about this, right? It's not a good thing being on U.S. territorial soil anyway. But once you leave U.S., territory, it's anything goes. You understand? And in the military, and it's already been documented that 1 out of every 4 women are SA'd. You understand? In the United States military, that's all the way across the board, across the the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. Not to mention, even in the what's that one they got here where you serve just.
You talking about the National Guard?
National Guard, yes, the National Guard. You understand? It's not a good thing to be in the U.S. military forces and things like that. You understand? And this article that we're about to read is really nothing new. You understand? And we get this report that is just that they only calling out this one ship, but come to find out, people have been trying to get word back to their families across the board, from the Navy, the Marines, and and the Army.
Right.
You understand? People talking about how they. Let's read this article, and we can expand on it as we
dive in a little bit more. Absolutely. If I could. Don't get caught up in the propaganda with the war movies.
Right.
You seeing the war movies and the sailors on board and the ships and the planes coming in and everybody in the tip top shape, man. They listen. It ain't like that right now. I don't know. What is it? The funding, or really it's also this because the straits is closed.
Right.
They can't get their ships in and out to get supplies, medical supplies, food, and other things to that ship. So it's going to suffer.
Right.
It's going to suffer just like other nations round about is suffering with the the ports or what have you, that ship is suffering. You understand?
Right.
And don't get caught up in the they're the greatest military in X, Y, Z. They suffering over there. So much so that they're suffering psychological psychological damage, so much so that they want to jump overboard and get the hell off the damn ship. That's how disgusting and gross the conditions are.
Right.
That Trump and Pete Hegseth are allowing on this ship here. So
if I may, you know what, this is where it's going to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about this, right? You had Pete Hegseth, somebody who was kicked out the National Guard, right? You got him running your military force. You got a president like Donald Trump who ducked the draft 3 different times. I'm telling you that shit was there over 150 some days wasn't out there long enough. Now they say average time in the Mosul to be 6 ships playing them is days. Take a day, I mean,
right.
Between serving what they call like water bottles got to being thrown. And this is how frustrating it is on those ships, to the point where men are risking their careers, where their careers mean nothing at this point, when you know you're being abused. Your career means nothing. No matter what, if it's going to a military, not on that boat. With their whole military force, but you out there knowing y'all being bombed and shot at, you know that they're lying. You understand what makes it bad to me, right? When you got somebody reporting that's you're facing right now, and they talk, you understand, well, they should be out there longer.
Right. I heard the news when Don was talking gas prices. I'll never apologize. The right thing. Significant from a itself.
Yeah.
None of that type of information supposed to be getting leaked at all.
Right. But they could care less. When listen, people who put you in that position don't care about what happens to you. You begin not to care.
100%.
You understand? And then the thing about it is, like, all right, I'm gonna give it to people differently, right? Remember this sister that got essayed in what was that, Iraq? She got essayed in Iraq, and then they found that said she was so brutally beat up,
and then they put like acid
on her.
Yep.
Yeah, and they said they put acid on her genitals to cover up, and Afghans or Iraqis not worried about DNA. It's you can't track them down any. So that let that officers that they did trying to cover their own tracks. You understand what I mean? And this is the reason why commanding. This is the reason why commanding forces. These are the things that happen to us. They go home and tell you your son has been unalived by Afghan forces, and come to find out he got shot in the back by an oppressor that's supposed to be fighting alongside with. You understand what I'm saying? His uncle was in the Vietnam War and dropped back behind him and shot him in the back.
Right.
You understand? People don't realize that this stuff goes on all the time. It's not a time where this type of thing.
This ain't nothing new.
This is nothing new, right? You understand? And we sitting back and we making plans of joining the oppressors' armed service and around, and now they're gonna fold up a flag, sing an American flag, and say, well, how about when Trump said that they signed up for? That's a slap in the face. You understand?
The arrogance, slap in the face, and people supposed to be the hidden, the top of this title. You the commander in chief of the military.
Right.
But the military is in shambles, man.
And that's and this is the reason why if you want to be
sure y'all had there, like we see everybody watching on Facebook. A lot of people watching on Facebook.
You want to be an Indian. You understand? To be in whether we should right here fighting alongside of people who believe in the same thing that you believe in.
Wow.
And we
not only that, but we literally building.
started off with a few men. You understand? And look how it's grown. I ain't saying it's grown for the better, but this place right here, this UPK is grown for the better of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You understand? We standing for our brothers and sisters, because if you look at the situation, you understand that we in today, there's no other nation of people that suffer in the ways that we suffer. Nobody does anything for the Native Americans. Nobody does anything for those Hispanics on the border. And damn sure we know nobody does anything for blacks. You understand? So this is the reason, this is how we know that we are the true biblical Jews of the Bible. The Bible describes us. You understand? And these horrors that are happening right now are happening because this is the way the Most High planned it. America is falling. You understand? We living in historic times. Right now, you might not think that we living in historic times, but I can guarantee you 20 or 30 years from now, you're going to be saying, where was we at on that day?
Right.
When all hell broke loose, where were we at? Just like, think about this, just like 9/11. Everybody can remember, if you old enough, you can remember where you was at when those towers fell.
Mm-hmm.
I can describe the day and what I was doing when it happened. Well, that's what these times that are happening right now are going to be in history, and you're going to remember those times just like that.
Right.
You understand? I yield, sir.
No sweat. But here we go again. Another prime example of the fall of America. You got your biggest bat. They call it the biggest baddest. You got what, 5,000 members on board? They call it a mini city.
And one thing that we, Salaki, if I may,
So please,
just to get it corrected. See, and this is another thing that we get the wool pulled over our eyes when we hear that 5,000 people. We're not talking about 5,000 warring men. We're talking about, you got enlisted men that are chefs, doctors, and things like that. We're not talking about military fighting men. They give you those numbers and say military forces. They give you those numbers, but they don't break those numbers down and let you know that those forces are even smaller than you really think. The fighting force may be only 1/3 of the 5,000.
Maybe even 1/5.
Exactly, maybe even 1/5 of that. So when they talk about, oh, we have 20,000 men over there, it's not 20,000 fighting forces. You understand what I'm saying? And they do those numbers to make you feel comfortable.
And they mind, they think they 20,000 people with an AR.
Exactly.
20,000 people,
and that's
in a jet, in a fighter craft.
Right. And that's how I thought until I heard them start to break it down, and they talked about, you understand, they got people over there. I mean, they even got people who keep places clean over there. You got people who's just documenting stuff over there. They call them part of the fighting force. You understand? I mean,
you would call it a scribe over here.
Yeah, it's scribe, right?
But you got maintenance men, you got welders, anything
that could go wrong with a ship.
Needs,
yep.
It has, but those men on board are suffering.
Right.
We're gonna pull this article here. We're gonna dive into it a little bit more to see the conditions.
Right. I got you. You ready for this, sir?
God, I'm ready. I'm gonna pull this up so they can see it as well. Y'all follow along in this article here. Go ahead.
Okay. CENTCOM chief. All right. This is from the CBS News. The CENTCOM chief meets with troops aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln amid moral concerns. What to know about the Iran war? The head of the U.S. Central Command, which oversees U.S. military operations in the Middle East, met with troops stationed on the USS Abraham Lincoln, the Pentagon said Saturday, which has been deployed for nearly 9 months. It comes after families expressed weeks that members were dealing with mental struggles.
That's as bad as military, and they going out of their goddamn mind.
Right.
They're going out of their mind. Why? Because of the conditions that they've been put under. Now, we're not saying we all sweet, but you got your biggest belly. You got to that Taiwan in this that's the
I got.
But I don't know. But we don't even recognize and understand all billions upon billions of dollars going to foreign aid. They get to go to school for free, but we can't. We think about school. First thing we think about is money. How are we going to afford it? But our tax dollars,
right,
is funding foreign nations' education system. You believe that? But listen, it's just the arrogance that the Lord didn't put on these people. He made them arrogant. Now, America is falling in on itself.
Yep.
Republican don't know which way to look. A Democrat don't know which way to look. A liberal, a conservative is all messed up, and everybody pointing the finger now, right?
Yep.
And here we go. Your biggest bet is military ship. Is looking weak. In the midst of the great
greatest and strongest nation on the face of this earth. But the nations that America say is weak, they get other nations to go. America doesn't confront those nations unless those nations are absolutely weak. America will fight. America will say, I should take Greenland. Countries that can't protect themselves. You understand? In front of China or an Iran, they'll get a proxy, meaning they'll get a gump to go attack that nation like they did with Ukraine attacking Russia.
And look, they only right now. This is like the punt fake right here, and they got caught with the whole economy being screwed, friends, and all the way down to the single family households is getting screwed over by Donald Trump.
Right.
And he's so arrogant. He won't put in all of this war. They're too arrogant. They're too proud. Just like when Pharaoh went back after the Israelites.
Right.
Went back after the Israelites, and the Lord destroyed their whole army in that sea. You understand? The scriptures say the hooks is going to be drawn back. All of these other nations is going to get in that battle, in that fight.
Right.
Go ahead.
This is exactly what's happening to them right now. Think about this, and if y'all really don't know the backdrop of what's going on with America is short on weaponry. America is using outdated equipment, big warships that parts of the Red Sea to where they can't even bomb Iran from where they are. You understand what I'm saying? So we're seeing the real power of America is not the power. They say that in the 90s, one of the strongest, military forces on the planet.
Questionable.
Now it's questionable. You understand? And see it,
Somebody made an interesting comment here. He said, well, why y'all comparing
and we're actually in the middle of history right now, or at the beginning. Just as Trump let his arrogance take them over and cause them to let the Most High's plan of Egypt and wiped Egypt, but brought Egypt down.
bear with us 1 second. But no, that's a good question. Though, we back. We're gonna answer your question, and we got Revelations 11 and 8 real quick. Go ahead.
Revelations chapter 11, verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city.
And that's what happens. Our dead bodies lie in the street. You talking about police brutality to another level. ICE agents is beating us and murdering us and unaliving us, along with your local policemen or what have you. We lying in
Sodom and Egypt.
It's spiritually called what?
Sodom.
Stop right there. Why is it called Sodom? You got your gay parades. You got an entire agenda. Well, you got the LGBTQ community or what have you. That's Sodom. And every major city and every major town, you got your Pride Month and your Pride Month celebrations. And guess what? Your tax dollars is funding this parade.
Right.
This place is spiritually Sodom. Go ahead.
And Egypt.
And Egypt. What is Egypt synonymous with? Slavery, bondage. What is America synonymous with? Slavery and bondage. That's why you have that comparison with Egypt. This place is spiritually Egypt. Pull out that dollar out your pocket. You got the pyramid modeled after Egypt. They say it's modeled after Greece and Greek, but they was following after Egyptology. They loved the Egyptians, the Greeks and Romans. They were those at that time. They were followed after Egypt.
Where also our Lord was crucified.
Come on, man. Go ahead. You can drop that. You want Zarko? Let's go.
It says that the aircraft carrier is expected to be replaced by the USS. Think about how long the USS Abraham Lincoln was out of water. 9 months. It ain't gonna be today. till they get replaced, right? So imagine people that's going out on this USS George Washington. Imagine how they feeling after they seen their counterparts left out on an island, and I mean in the middle of nowhere for almost 10 months, knowing that you should only be out there 6 months at the most. So imagine the morale of them having to replace them after Trump said you're younger. Imagine that.
Right.
Imagine how they feel in having to replace and hope that they don't get left out on that same island.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Morale is terrible in the U.S. military forces right now. It could be no lower, especially when you really just really don't care. This is Egypt right here. This is that spirit of Egypt. Understand? Care less. You understand? Dying. Of Iran, so Iran bombed that vessel. No injuries, but let them know that Iran is not having.
You had control. I mean, what are we even talking? Oh yeah, man. You got anything else? Sorry, we're gonna move on here. The war continues, right? Want to get Lebanon?
Colonel Khan, sir.
Got the Reuters article.
Yep, Colonel Khan, sir.
Before we speak on this, y'all see a pattern here?
Right.
U.S. military bases, in these particular regions. And then simultaneously, the Israelis is bombing Lebanon.
Right. Yeah. This is the Reuters. Reuters in south of the country killed at least 11.
Mm-hmm. And this is reported just a couple of days ago. Go ahead.
State media said Ansar dead included 3 children, 2 women. Strikes among deadliest since U.S. brokered truce framework. Netanyahu's office says Hezbollah fire wounded 3 Israeli soldiers in the security zone. Hezbollah warned attacks would be met with what they deserve.
And real quick, let's not forget about all that raping they doing too.
Yeah.
I can't look at serviceman in the eye no more. Like they talk all this talk about thank you for your service and what have you. Them got the American soldiers also is over there raping.
Right.
Israeli soldiers is over there raping women and children, sodomizing the men.
Yep.
I'm saying this is they are a ruthless beast. You want to send all these proxy wars. You want to meddle with Ukraine for a decade. Meddle with dabble with. Imagine Russia.
Nuclear crisis was the closest they had ever been to nuclear war. You understand? In decades.
Mm-hmm.
Was when the Russians tried to put the nuclear weapons over there
in Cuba. And now look, why wouldn't Russia be like, yo, this is y'all getting a little too close to this friendly fire getting a little too you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Russia ain't part of NATO. Just because y'all buddies and like Ukraine don't mean you got to be over here, with my territory.
Right.
The arrogance, right? But let's continue on before
okay.
Babel.
It says Beirut, August the 15th. At least 11 people were killed in Israeli strikes in southern Lebanon on Saturday. Lebanese health ministry said some of the deadliest in weeks since the country agreed to a U.S. mediated peace framework in Israel.
Well, I'll go to these schools. It's confirmed, and then they had confirmed intelligence on what was at that location.
Overnight in what is described as a security zone in southern Lebanon in response to actions against its soldiers there.
Come on.
Iran. Wait a minute. Let's see.
There we go. Ran back Hezbollah.
Iran back Hezbollah.
You already know that's the go-to always.
Right.
Listen, Lebanon gonna be looking like the Gaza. They want it. They trying to. It's clear as day. They just want the land.
Right.
They want the land. They want the oil. And Benjamin Netanyahu got Donald Trump by the you know what
Yeah. Yeah.
with blackmail of him and his rich friends, and then American soldiers are going to have to die about that.
Yeah.
American families going to have to suffer behind that. You understand? Everything that's being orchestrated is. You might think, oh man, it's such a horrible thing, the war.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, let it be.
Yeah.
Right, let it be, because look, on the other end of this, it is going to be hell. It's going to be hell on the face of the earth or what have you. On a different note, though, because we talking about the fall of our oppressor. Our oppressor has to fall for us to rise.
Right.
It can't be. It can't be both. It can't be this fake utopia of all-inclusive nation working. It is absolutely a lie. Go ahead.
Iran-backed Hezbollah said in a statement that the attacks will be met with what they deserve. The framework leaves Israeli troops inside occupied southern Lebanon until Hezbollah is disarmed. Control terms the group. Listen, even with this, right? You got a lot of the people on those ships too don't want to be in a war that they know they're fighting for the Israelis. You understand? And that's where the morale really is destroyed, but not Israel. And that's where the confusion broke out on the ship when they got into the scuffle. You understand? And a lot of spirit, but the spirit that they don't have, and that's where the civil war is beginning to break out. You understand? Not only is America for that's about to break out and really splinter.
You got that's why these so-called conservatives is starting to come up against Donald Trump. They started to come up against Donald Trump with the Epstein file. Like, yo, hold up. I ran on this.
Yeah.
And they was screaming, what's the president? So I know him as X. You got to bring the Clintons to the forefront. No one they try to bring them to the forefront and try to make them testify and everything like that. And then he retracted, like, no, they're good friends. Significant decline.
Yes.
Socially, politically, financially, even military is even a word.
Yeah.
This red dog. Come on.
But with most of the countries on this globe, America's credibility is none. It's non-existent.
And the propaganda the propaganda the guys gone.
Yeah. We are the good guys.
And then we were like, oh man, they're trying to spread them. I remember growing up. Yeah, we're just trying to over there, they're the bad guys, and you know what they do to those people? They still
and everybody's trying to find a way out. You understand? And now you have the very people that America, think about this, you got the very people that America has been talking about. Yeah,
Mexico. Go ahead.
Yeah. But right, those were supposed to be democracies, right? But when the people got tired of somebody, didn't they assassinate them? Just like America does.
It's a false sense of security.
Right. It's a false sense of security. And think about it, right? When the people begin to go into game, you understand?
And by the sword.
And by the sword. Ain't that what they do today, right?
Ain't nothing there.
Yeah.
Spit. They talking about, yeah, they safe and then boom, they saved XYZ, but despite the lawsuit they got, yeah, understand. But they want all this technology and renovation,
right?
And with all that technology and renovation, you're just going to use it to abuse,
right?
And while we're on the topic, we'll continue this article, which is very pivotal and important,
right?
But while we're on this topic, I want to mention this. Yeah, ingrained we are. I said we, but America, and in general, in a sense, is not even. They're clearly targeting Israelites.
Right.
They're targeting specifically Haitians. They're targeting specifically Hispanics, and they're targeting the people on. You ever ask yourself that? Because the Asians is the number one. Yeah. And when I say Asians, that includes East Indians.
Indians out, and I'm only saying that because they the number two.
Come on, man.
So you got the Asians are number one, and East Indians. Asians on the Mexican border with the fentanyl.
Come on.
I bet nobody hear about that, right?
Right.
One people, bro, we keep looking at them like, oh, they're the hardest work. They're not the hardest work. They haven't even had a whole lot of people in that store. But he said that the nail shop, he don't have to make no money at the seafood spot. And this speak up. You understand? That's the very thing that destroys us as a nation of people. You understand? We support everybody and nobody supports us. What's Zephaniah 2:1? Gather yourself together, O nation not desired. Most High is telling us to come together because the other nations hate us. They hate you to the point where we are all we got. We got to use that what they call it. We got to use that slogan. And it's a true slogan. Just like Cap said, we can look back here at this chart and see everything that's happening to everybody on this chart. When you don't see that happening to Asians, you don't see them getting arrested in the bulks and the multitudes. You don't see that happening to the Africans. You don't see that happening to the Arabs. You understand? And you got some of the worst stores, especially here in Baltimore, run by them. You don't see them running up in the hip hop chickens arresting the Arabs. You understand? You don't see them running in the Dunkin' Donuts arresting the East Indians. You don't see them arresting the Ethiopians up in the gas stations. You do see them arresting them Hispanics on the board.
Oh, look, they go. How do you think they get in here?
Right.
They getting plane tickets to Central and South America.
Right.
And they crossing the border.
Yep.
But the only ones that's being targeted is us. And when I say us, I'm talking about the Israelite, the so-called black man, the Hispanic man, and Native American man. We're going to circle. We just had a no. Everything that's going on in the earth, my thumb is just a good segue anyway. Also,
right,
is for the liberation that's being targeted. The whole earth is targeted and a great item. The hell you got beef with Haitians for?
Right.
Haitians ain't give you coronavirus. Haitians ain't bringing and killing hundreds of thousands. You know what I'm saying? The Native Americans ain't bringing in that heroin from the Middle East.
Right.
You understand? We gotta stop pretending like the devil is. We gotta stop pretending like we can't. We don't have the capacity to look past what we've been taught and see what is right in front of us.
Right.
We under this an illusion. You used to say it all the time. You still do. The illusion of inclusion, the illusion of being a part of America. It's like we're incapable of seeing that we are the target. So you see cats like Officer Tatum. He is deliberately. Come on, man.
Oh,
right? I mean,
God, man.
He's deliberately choosing not to comprehend. You got all the smarts. You got all the knowledge. You got the wits to to be able to critically think for yourself, but you choose not to. You choose not to for the sake of Christianity.
It's a
You
lot.
choose not to for the sake of the Constitution.
Right.
Come on, man.
Locky is. Guess what? Too.
Was the
He
I
married.
knew that.
He's so.
Who else?
disgusting.
Who else married to an oppressor? Candace.
Candace Owen.
He's so bright. Speak so elegantly. So bright in other areas. But when it comes to the plight of our people,
Right.
and the plight, she can comprehend that Donald Trump is way off. She can get that. But when it comes down to, I can't forget how you treat black people, man.
Right.
And try to shun or disregard our plight here in America.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
I would love to sit down with Candace Owens, come across the line or across on a Black Watch.
right.
You still our sister. Officer Tatum, come on, you too. And I went off
I
topic.
wouldn't say
Right?
but it destroyed the heart. Destroy. Your mind becomes destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And that's what's happening to a Candace Owen. That's what happened to an Officer Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
So press the mind. You understand? Their thinking process stops at a certain point. It's not that they don't choose to speak. You understand what I'm saying? It's like a firewall. If you get to a point, it blocks everything off, and you can't speak on it. You know the truth is the truth, and what's happening. We don't believe in divorce, but
They can still come in the truth.
them oppressors need to.
But look, they can use their platform and they notoriety
Right.
to like, you know what? And like Kanye, right? I remember when Kanye was doing his controversy, he got on the back then when it was, what was that voice service? It was it's a platform where it's like chat.
Oh! You know he was on there.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and that
talking
was
forgot what the platform
I
was
was
called.
on there with him too.
Yeah, it was his, I think the building trying to tune in and they dropped the feed.
Yeah,
And Ye dropped off.
yeah.
But
He came back though. He talked to Cap too.
right.
He came back and Cap came back the next day and everything.
And sorry, his name
I know you.
that's Pyro, no
100.
blood, wet.
Back 100
He set it all up. I remember that was a while, like 2-3 years ago, maybe.
about 3 years ago now. Yeah,
But no, even like
yeah, that was heavy.
that's
So, and I think
Go ahead.
Salaki, if I may,
please,
sir.
please.
I think what you were saying about him, I think he got torn between two worlds because he, even though he was with and or a heathen, he was still speaking. You understand how he felt. You understand? They try to make it crazy, but I mean that's what happens to you when you move away from what Most High tells you.
Right.
When you go in opposition of them, that's what happens to you. Your whole world gets torn apart. I remember the world simple and lives my people than to be in turmoil and be, you know what I'm saying, and be in love with the oppressor.
Right. No, excellent point. Excellent point, but man, that was a quick sidebar. But now how is that relevant to this story here in Lebanon? Bomb. Turmoil with the Israelis and Lebanon and other surrounding nations. That's the question, right?
Right.
It's because it's making this happen.
Right.
right? Against nation.
Right.
Nation must come up against nation. This ain't like a suggestion. Everything that we've been talking about since the 60s coming into fruition, it was is destroyed. You know, I don't know if NATO was done yet, but they got all these alliances and treaties or what have you.
NATO, yeah. It was about not when the fall of the wall right now. Gorbachev.
When NATO established
after World War II, because remember they had the League of Nations after World War One.
Right.
World War One, the League of
Nations. No, he is still. That's why we got him on Monday.
America had given too much power to the other nations after World War One. Because remember, America was a nation that had not been bombed. Once again, their mainland had been bombed, so America helped the other build, and in rebuild, America used them rebuilding, putting hooks into all of the other nations and create the League of Nations. They made a mistake and gave Russia and China again, gave them too much of veto. So out of the nations, let the nations stand. After World War II, the same exact happened. Remember, in World War II, America was Hawaii that got bombed. American land got bombed. So again, you have nations except for America. In the beginning of World War II, America was not only that. America didn't fight for the first year and a half.
Right.
Until Japan, Pearl Harbor. They didn't begin to fight Japan. Remember, Japan still countries.
The Red Army too. Look, you want to speak on?
You want me to speak on?
You can't, because the thing, they didn't even have to drop them nukes.
Yeah,
it's crazy because look, they sent in the White House already, and the Soviet Union wiped them out. We don't even think they so had particular nations, which is like it's a weapon against other nations.
Believe it or not, the Red Army, the most military force in World War II. America lost 236,000 troops. That was when they stormed Normandy. Remember, the first year America wasn't in the fight. Then when they got into the fight, they were only fighting Japan. When it was time to storm Normandy, that's when America lost most of the troops. But remember, America lost. Come on. But the Red Army stormed into Manchurian and destroyed Japan. Japan surrendered to the Red Army at that point. America came behind them and wanted to test their weapons.
Cowards.
So they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima first. Then 3 days later, they dropped the bomb, hit those enemies. The only is Nagasaki.
Right.
You understand? Because they were big cities. So America did that. When you history books of America, America makes it seem like they were the ones that caused that surrender in World War II. The first the truth. You understand? If you look at, and if you really peel back the layers and look at America's history, and this is the reason why we talk about America, the paper tiger. We have always been told that America was the strongest nation on the face of the planet. I can give you one thing: it's always been the conniving nation on the planet, because they've always weaseled away out and then come in on the back end of the earth, which the same they try to do. They try to use this book in every war. It's the same playbook they're using now. They push NATO right there in front of Ukraine, and they're selling weapons to NATO for NATO to get Ukraine. And then they use so-called Israelis and other proxies to come in and fight Russia.
Right.
You understand? America does not want to be, and think about it, right? America is flanked by 2 oceans. How are you fighting in a neighborhood that you live nowhere near? They're over in Asia and Eastern Europe. All of these nations are together. When you get the map flat, you'll notice that America is flanked by the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean.
Right.
And then everybody else, the Miss Africa right there, Russia,
each other.
Yeah, all of them right there. You understand what I'm saying? When you look at that, look at the globe.
We got a globe right here, y'all.
Yeah,
look
at the globe.
Y'all see what's up. Y'all see Africa, and right on top of Africa, all these nations is right here. So they got a way to go,
right,
to drop the drill or what have you.
You Americans protect 2 oceans, and the thing about it is, if America gets attacked by anybody, right, it's really advantage because they flank 2 oceans. But America forced back into it, and they would suffer because everything would be cut off by the 2 ocean. Just they was just talking about, like, the thousands of miles. When they is out, you got to travel all the way back to America, then travel all the way back, which is, if you don't have oil.
Hold up.
If you don't have oil.
Come on now. Not only oil, but what all the raw mineral materials is coming from. They outsource those. First of all, you outsource yourself to China so much, you're a slut. You're a slut for money, right?
Yeah.
And all those, they out themselves so heavily that they're relying on other nations for their military might.
Yep.
I mean, when I say military might, I'm talking about the raw cuts of metal, in a different capacity than what's here in America.
But the minerals that need to be processed for weapons is done by China.
Mm-hmm.
And you should refuse to give
us if go they're gonna send in. Oh, come on, yo.
Okay, come on, sir.
We didn't rhyme.
I mean, listen, because that's the most important part right there. China got China has the bell to the end of the fight, right? First off, they already control the minerals that you.
Next article, Taiwan.
I got that right here. Got it.
I mean, that's a perfect segue. That's a perfect segue. Come on. Yeah. Let's get a little bit more China though. Go ahead.
Yeah, but China to those earth minerals that need to be processed. Not only America doesn't have enough rare earth, China the rare earth minerals, plus they have the process to do it,
right?
To make them so you can. You don't get that from China, then you basically butt out. You understand what I'm saying? I can't even say that. I do understand this about America because we being controlled by those. It says child oppressors, right? The script says child oppressors.
People that are not people.
People that is not people. You understand? Listen, think about this. We talked about this last week, right? How can you look for civility from a people who are not civil? Look at America being a civilization. America has never been a civilization as ties nations civil is a place where you can remember times when there was no
key word civil. Civil. I mean, we talking about civil.
time since the oppressor has been here where there has not been a or America hasn't caused or America has been involved with.
Right.
It's never been a time. This is not a. If you look, even if you look at the European nations, I'm talking about not black people rule, but I'm talking came in and warred their way to power.
Right.
You understand? These are not civilized nations. Rome was never a civilized nation. Greece was never a civilized nation. Those nations were civilized nations. We have to understand that we are the so-called black slaves. We are the civil ones on this earth. You understand? And righteousness only comes through us. What we're looking at right now is we're looking at the fall of an empire. A lot of people don't know it. See, listen, we've been in poverty so long. America's going through right now. We've been
right.
We've been used to being broke. We've been used to not having.
Right.
The oppressor, they're not used to that. That's why you saw January 6th.
Right.
When the oppressor feels like something's being taken over the war, they immediately shoot.
Right.
That's not it. That's not out. It's always been in. I understand what we do today. We get into fights with each other after we've talked. You understand? And I know we've taken some of the customs of our oppressor because being around your oppressor and being up under, for sometimes you take on some culture if you don't know what's really going on around you.
I know if they don't have even being oppressed, they don't have us being oppressed. We still have mercy.
Yes,
we still have unity.
Right.
We still have our high when it concerns people. The deal doesn't have the, and I think they're Christians. They're not the capacity to have compassion and mercy, humility for people.
Right.
And so much been beat down so much. We're still the kindest people on the earth. You understand? That's gonna be out the window in a second because the Lord gonna send our king down here. It's gonna the scripture's gonna have a new name. We're talking about a new reputation because the reputation has been love.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hold up, this guy was supposed to be. It's supposed to be a rainbow in the sky and everybody coming together. But now he got a garment down to the foot drenched in blood. He got a new reputation now. Jesus, that white boy.
Right.
This guy is you know, violently, a violent transition of power now. I'm just.
His name gonna be back in remembering. Everybody, listen. Everybody remember who he was because of what the UPK has told people. Everybody gonna look and say, "Oh, that's what we're talking about." Young, listen. That reputation is going. You understand? I was glad I was here to learn before it all happened.
Uh-huh.
So I lay back and I can relax. I'm comfortable with what about to happen.
Come on. Well,
Look, I got a little tongue tied.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I get it, like Tawian talking about defense. I seen a story. I'm like, cause we've been like getting it on for the last couple of whatever. I kept saying Taiwan's going, China going, Taiwan, boom, boom, boom. And now we got this story about their defense budget going up. Me and Miss brewing up. I mean, you don't put a weapon out. Just Ukraine now. Come on with them. You got Ukraine, Russia.
Yeah.
Israel popping.
Yeah.
We got China now.
China.
I mean, yo, this is like been snowballing down. A snowball down. There's been a snowball down there, and then you got the civil unrest in Americas, right? You got the civil unrest, and they go like a cop of Americas.
Right.
They hate. They want to kill all the Muslims. They want to ship all the Muslims out. You know, they bugged out just like the here.
I got this.
I'm gonna put.
Right? After World War One, World War II, the Vietnam War, Civil War, let's go World War One, World War II, Vietnam War, and war to happen. Do you think Indians sit back and say, "Hey, no, America's never been bombed"? Because I mean, listen, I think all the time now, right? If it wasn't for the UK, I would never have thought about it. I think, and I wonder, every time you turn around, Russia's been bombed, right? Seen war, Ukraine seeing war, Iran bombed in the recent, and I'm talking about the 1800s into the 1900s.
Conflict.
Japan has been bombed, right? All of these countries have seen war.
According to the Bible,
yes. So I'm wondering, like, this on some of these countries who capability of blowing this out of the water. You understand what I'm saying? Dropping those America. So why would other countries think about it? Not only that, it would be in the back of my never seen a bomb hit their mainland. If you gonna bomb me, then I would think about bombing your mainland. Forget all of the militaries that you got. I want you to feel it.
That's why he wanted Greenland so bad. He wanted Greenland as a defense against Russia.
As a buffer zone.
As a buffer zone. Well, you got Alaska.
Right.
Alaska is like a mile from Russia.
Is it? I don't know. But
Alaska, you can see Russia from Alaska.
Okay.
From the tip of Alaska.
Right.
But on the east, on that East Russia.
Right.
But they want Iceland and Greenland or what have you. But nonetheless, all in all is this though. There's no de-escalation. We this all on the top of a mountain.
Steadily rolling down.
It's picking up snow. That's it. Taiwan.
Right. Let me know when you're ready, sir.
Go ahead.
Reuters. Taiwan president says record defense spending and investment in peace. Military budget set to exceed $1 trillion for the first time. Taiwan faces increased military pressure from China. This is from Taipei, August the 17th. This is from the day. Taiwan is determined to strengthen its defenses and plan defense spending next year. President Lei Ching said on Monday, describing his military budget proposal as an investment in peace. Taiwan's cabinet will unveil next year's budget on Thursday, including a breakdown of where defense spending will go. But Lei confirmed media reports that 2027's overall defense budget would exceed $1 trillion, or $31.4 billion for the first time. His announcement comes as China, which views democratically governed Taiwan as its own territory, has ramped up military and political pressure over the past few years to assert its claim, which Taipei strongly rejects. But Taiwan also faces calls from Washington to spend more on its own defense, mirroring U.S. pressure on Europe, something Lei has enthusiastically embraced. Addressing a meeting about next year's budget, Lei said defense spending in 2027 would reach 1.1 trillion dollars, exceeding 3% of growth. This demonstrates Taiwan's determination to strengthen its self-defense capabilities. And its peace will continue to build more solid defense to maintain stability in Taiwan. Come
on,
China.
you stop it right there.
Okay.
But no, look. This is showing you what? This thing here is expanding.
Right.
This thing here is expanding. It looks like it ain't.
Nations is really falling apart. But even in the United Nation, they always said that Taiwan was a part of takeover Taiwan against and what we're seeing is the buildup happening right. This nation against nation. You understand? And just like we watching Russia and Ukraine, you understand? You know, Iran.
What's what? Any closing remark?
Live, sir.
The one who has the news desk. Yeah.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're